What's up, Dub Nation? Man, do we have a lot to unpack today. After everything that went down yesterday afternoon and into the night, Warriors fans like us have been left with a mix of frustration, disbelief, and that lingering feeling of what could have been. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The Kevin Durant sweepstakes are officially over. Yep, it's done. The Rockets pulled the trigger and landed KD, ending all speculation about a potential Warriors reunion. Now let's just take a second to digest what the Rockets gave up for him. Honestly, you can't look at that trade and not shake your head. Houston sent out Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th overall pick in this week's draft, and five future first-round picks just to bring Durant to town. And what did the Suns do? They jumped at it. They didn't wait. They didn't hold out for a better offer that might have come in a couple of weeks. They just took the first big splash that landed on their desk. And look, I get wanting to move quickly before the draft, but at the same time, if Phoenix had just waited until July 1st, the Warriors could have put together something way more appealing. Imagine this: Golden State sending out Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Brandon Pajimski, and maybe even a first-round pick to sweeten the pot. That's already a more balanced and ready-to-go package than what Houston offered. But no, the Suns jumped the gun, and that's their problem now. But you know what the real issue is? It's not just that the Warriors missed out on KD. It's that the Rockets just got a whole lot scarier. Let's take a look at this new Rockets lineup, because this is where things start getting concerning. At the point guard spot, they've got Fred VanVleet running the show, 6'3", a proven leader with championship experience. At shooting guard, they're rolling with Amen Thompson, standing 6 feet 6 inches tall and oozing with athleticism. And upside, sliding over to the small forward position. Yeah, that's where Durant comes in, officially listed at 6 feet 11, but come on, we all know he's at least 7 feet tall. Then at the 4, you've got Jabari Smith Jr., another guy hovering around 6'10", and anchoring the middle is Alperen Sengun, a legit 7-footer who's already showing flashes of being a dominant big in this league. And if that starting 5 wasn't enough to make you nervous, let's talk about their depth. They've still got size and muscle coming off the bench with guys like Steven Adams and Cam Whitmore. That's a lot of length, a lot of size, and a lot of athleticism. This is not the same Rockets team we've owned over the past decade. Yes, it's true the Warriors have had Houston's number for a long time now. Go back to 2015 during the start of the dynasty when it was Steph, Klay, and Draymond going up against James Harden and Dwight Howard in the Western Conference Finals. Back when Dwight was still relevant and not bouncing around the league from team to team like he is now. Then fast forward to the next season, 2016, when the Warriors handled them again in the first round on their way to that legendary 73-9 season. Does anyone remember that? JB Bickerstaff was actually coaching the Rockets that year. Yeah, wild times. And who can forget those intense series in the late 2010s? The Mike D'Antoni-led Rockets with Chris Paul and James Harden. Man, that was probably the closest anyone came to knocking the Warriors off during their run. They pushed the series to 7 games, but Golden State still came out on top. Even this past postseason, history repeated itself. Warriors versus Rockets again. And after going up 3-1, we all thought it was over. Game 5 was right there for the taking, but somehow the Warriors let it slip. The youth, length, and energy of the Rockets pushed it all the way to Game 7. Thankfully, experience won out. The Warriors dug deep and pulled off the series win. But here's the thing: that was before Kevin Durant joined Houston. And now I'm not so sure the Warriors would be able to keep their perfect playoff record against the Rockets intact if they meet again over the next couple of years. The reality is, Golden State's championship window is closing fast. We've probably got to more postseasons with this core before it's time to fully pivot towards rebuilding. And given the way things are shaping up, I'm almost certain that in one of these next playoff runs, the Warriors will have to face the Rockets again. That thought alone keeps me up at night. Because look, if Houston was able to force 7 games and nearly knock the Warriors out without a 2-time Finals MVP on their roster, what do you think they'll do now that KD's in the building? That's a whole different kind of challenge. Add that to the fact that length and athleticism were already giving the Warriors problems, and the outlook becomes even more concerning. Golden State's lack of size isn't a new issue. It's something fans have been talking about for years. The small ball revolution was great. It changed the league, set new standards, and brought for championships in a decade. But here's the uncomfortable truth: the rest of the league adapted Teams got bigger, stronger, and faster. They started stacking size and switching wings all over the court. And now the Warriors are finding themselves on the wrong side of the size equation. If this current roster stays as is, there's no clear path for them to get through the heavyweights in the Western Conference. And just when you think things couldn't get more complicated, let's not forget about what happened last night. The Thunder went out and handled business against the Pacers, showing once again that Oklahoma City is the real deal. They've got their own Twin Towers lined up with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein holding down the paint. And of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continues to ball out as one of the top point guards in the league at 6'6". Add in Alex Caruso, bringing that defensive grit and championship glue guy mentality. Plus Jalen Williams emerging as a serious two-way threat. And you're looking at another team the Warriors will have to go through if they want to make another finals run. So let's just step back and really assess the situation between the Rockets, Thunder, Nuggets, Mavericks, Timberwolves, and probably a few other up-and-coming squads. The Western Conference is a jungle right now. Golden State can't afford to stand still. They need to make moves, big ones. They need to get longer, more athletic, and more versatile. That's not just me saying it out of frustration. It's a fact backed up by every playoff series we've seen over the past couple of years. The days of purely relying on shooting and small ball magic are over. The Warriors need to evolve, or they'll risk becoming a team that's great on paper but can't get it done when it matters most. And yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Free agency is where this transformation has to happen. Golden State's most valuable trade asset right now is Jonathan Kuminga. And as the offseason market starts to heat up, you better believe the front office is going to be working the phones day and night looking for the right deal. There's already noise about teams like the Miami Heat being interested now that they missed out on Durant. The Bulls are reportedly lurking too, desperate to retool after their own failed run at contention. Remember, Chicago went all in a few years back, signing Lonzo Ball to a huge contract, bringing in DeMar DeRozan, pairing them with Zach LaVine for a minute. They looked like they might be a real force in the East. But once Lonzo went down, the whole thing unraveled. Now they're stuck looking for ways to rebuild around younger pieces like Josh Giddey, assuming they re-sign him down the line. And this is where it gets interesting for the Warriors. Because while free agency will be crucial, the real groundwork starts at the draft. Even though the Dubs only hold the 41st pick this year, that doesn't mean they should sit back and coast. In fact, that pick could become incredibly valuable if they play their cards right. I've mentioned his name before and I'll bring it up again. Hanson Yang. Yes, he's considered a bit of a project, but he's also a guy who averaged 25 points and 12 rebounds in the Chinese Basketball Association. That's nothing to sneeze at. Sure, the CBA hasn't produced a true NBA star since Yao Ming and before that, Yi Jianlian. But with the massive Asian community in the Bay Area, Young could easily become a fan favorite the second he steps on the court. And let's not overlook the fact that he's a 7-foot center. That alone brings a dimension to this team that they've been lacking for years. Whether he comes off the bench or pushes for a starting role right away, adding that kind of size would immediately help address one of Golden State's biggest weaknesses. But drafting Young can't be the only move. The Warriors need to stay aggressive and jump on any trade opportunity that comes their way, even if it means being the third team in a larger deal just to pick up a useful piece for later. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The NBA world is buzzing with a rumor that has sent shockwaves through the league. Kevin Durant might be returning to the Golden State Warriors, sources close to the situation, speaking anonymously due to the sensitive nature of the discussions, suggest that Durant is on the verge of signing a 4-year deal with his former team, a move that would undoubtedly reshape the landscape of the Western Conference. This unconfirmed whisper has ignited a firestorm of speculation across the United States. Could Durant truly be considering a reunion with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green? The very notion seems almost too improbable. Yet the sheer persistence of the rumor indicates there might be more to it than just idle chatter. The possibility of Durant, a 2-time NBA champion and 2-time Finals MVP with the Warriors, rejoining the franchise he left in 2019 has left fans and analysts alike stunned. Such a move would not only create an instant championship contender in Golden State, but also raise questions about team chemistry and the broader implications. for the league's competitive balance. While no official confirmation has emerged, the sheer volume of this suggests that the NBA offseason could be far more dramatic than anyone anticipated. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.